Time for big horsepower and big hair. You're watching Monster Truck Attitude.
Will the Classroom Crusher hang on to the championship flag here tonight? We find out next. Welcome to Smashdown and welcome to the Monster Truck Attitude YouTube channel. Be sure to stick around to the end of the video and check out the overall point standings by the end of tonight's race, because we have got 8 of the baddest diecast monster trucks ready to throw it down here tonight inside of the MTA arena. Last week, Classroom Crusher took home a championship win, trying to hang on to it again here tonight. First round matchups are going to take place here soon as Avenger goes one-on-one with Boss Gator and gas-monkey gets us started, getting ready to take on the Raminator Dodge. And then later on tonight, we are going to see Invader go one-on-one with Goldberg alongside Jack Tremboli returns in Vendetta. He takes on the champion and Classroom Crusher. And right now, Jimmy Bones Ferguson returning here tonight in Avenger. He's now set to take on Austin Spence inside of the Boss Gator as they get staged up now at the top of the track. All these drivers ready to throw it down here tonight, trying to claim the overall points championship. Who's going to take it home here tonight inside of round 1 as Boss Gator takes on Avenger? The drivers are staged. Week 2 of the January season kicks off now as we go green down the straightaway, side by side, up and over the first jump. A good close race here, and they almost make contact here in the shutdown area as they get into the sea container. And from up here in the booth, it looked like Boss Gator may have come away with a win here tonight inside of round 1. We go back to the top of the track, check out our Crush This replay, up now over the first jump, settling it down in no man's land over the final set of cars. It's close, but Austin Spence and the Boss Gator come away with a victory here tonight inside of round 1. He puts Avenger on the trailer and further on down into the points chase here in the January season. Next up, coming to the line, it's going to be the return of 𝐷𝐴𝐺 from the Crush This race team, the Dodge Heavy Horsepower Raminator coming to the line. He's now ready to take on Jason Sensation Craddock inside of Gas Monkey, the Mopar No Car over there out of Dallas, Texas. He came into the January season as defending champion. He lost out last week to Classroom Crusher. He would love to get back on top of the mountain, but he's got to go through the Dodge horsepower of Raminator over on the inside lane. 𝐷𝐴𝐺 ready to go. Here's the green light. The Dodge power throwing it down. Raminator with the early lead. Now Gas Monkey tried to make up the ground over on the outside lane, and it was all Raminator over here on the inside. Got a little crossed up over the final set of cars, but he does take care of business here tonight over Gas Monkey. As we go back and check out the Crush This replay, Raminator got the whole shot down this straightaway. Watch now as they go up and over the first jump. Little crossed up right there for the Raminator as they settle it down. Nonetheless, 𝐷𝐴𝐺 in the Raminator Dodge takes care of business here tonight over Gas Monkey. A good move on right there as Raminator needed the points at making up for last week. And we move on inside of round 1. Speaking of points, Adam Lamprecht and Goldberg would love to get back in the points chase here tonight with a big-time win. He's got to go through Brandon Jager, a long-time MTA veteran, in his new ride, the Invader Ford over there on the outside lane. We saw him roll that truck over last week. Hopefully he can keep it shiny side up this week in week 2 of the January season. Invader taking on Goldberg here tonight inside of round 1. Here's the green light now, and off the line they go. Slight lead to Goldberg on the inside lane, up now over the cars. And Invader looks like he came back on him on the big end towards the shutdown area. As you see Goldberg getting into that seat container down there inside of that shutdown area. We're going to go back and check out our Crush This replay. Coming down the straightaway again, Goldberg had the slight lead. Up now over the first jump. He crosses up just a little bit, but Invader, Brandon Jager making up the ground. Look how close that race was. Invader pulls away a win here tonight inside of round 1, but Goldberg was right there knocking on his back door. That was extremely close. Invader nonetheless getting the win in round 1. And speaking of round 1, it's time to close out the action as Jack Tremboli, the new kid on the block in Vendetta, gets ready to take on defending champion George Zilligy in the Classroom Crusher. He's only been out here for a couple of months, already racked up 4 championship wins, 2 over here on Smashdown and 2 on Thursday Night Thunder. We're going to see right now if he's going to be able to hang on to that championship flag to close out round 1. Both trucks staged, 2 new kids on on the MTA scene. Green light goes down, off the line they go. They're pretty much even now, up over the first jump. Hard hit right there for the Classroom Crusher, and Jack Trimboli wasn't giving him an inch as they shoot out over the finish line. Jack Trimboli takes it down to the staging area. What a matchup it was. We'll go back and check out the Crush This replay. Classroom Crusher had a lead on him over the inside lane. Right there, Bammo hits it hard on the front end inside of no man's land. There's a first look at the finish. It's extremely close. We're going to jump over to our next frame, and the officials are going to give the win to Jack Trimboli in Vendetta. He will dethrone the champion early on in round one here tonight. So that means we're going to crown an all-new Smashdown champion here tonight. And again, we started with 8 trucks. We're now down to 4. We're going to crown an all-new champion. Semi-final action is coming up next. Points chase on the line when we return.
It's bigger. This is the 10th anniversary of Crush This, a Monster Truck podcast brought to you by J Concepts. The Monster Truck Conductor Bradshaw and Dan 𝐃𝐨𝐽. Strap in and hold on tight. This is Crush This.
And be sure to check out the Crush This podcast. Dan and Gosh Bradshaw always do a phenomenal job. Tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on YouTube and Facebook Live. So be sure to check those guys out. Welcome back to Smashdown. We're back with semifinal competition. It's going to be a battle of the Crush This boys. Austin Spence and Boss Gator taking on the Raminator Dodge. Dan and Gosh in the first matchup. Then we're moving over to the final matchup of semis. Invader is back to take on Vendetta. Jack Trimboli, we just saw eliminate our defending champion, Classroom Crusher, earlier tonight inside of round one. But coming up to the line right now is Dan 𝐃𝐨𝐽 and the Raminator Dodge. Both these drivers representing the Crush This race team. He now goes one-on-one with his teammate Austin Spence. There you see him over there inside of the Boss Gator. Would love to get another championship win added to his resume alongside his own teammate. Dan and Gosh would love to get a win here tonight as well. Both these drivers are going to lay it all on the line. Teammates are going to do battle. Who's going home? Who's moving on? The green light goes down on the line. Raminator got a whole shot. Here goes Boss Gator on the outside. Austin Spence wasn't letting him get it easy. And on the big end of the track, I do believe that Boss Gator made up the ground over the Raminator Dodge. A phenomenal race between two great teammates. We go back and take a look at the Crush This replay. Raminator on the inside had a lead. He noses over hard, settles it down in no man's land, but it was all Austin Spence inside of the Boss Gator. He gets the better of the boss man here tonight. He puts that truck into the final round on Smashdown. Who is he going to meet there, though? Because we got one more race to go in semifinals. Jack Trimboli, again, we talked about him earlier, eliminated the defending champion Classroom Crusher in round one. He is back to take on longtime veteran, back for the first time in a long time, Brandon Jagger returning an Invader. There you see him over there on the outside lane. Old driver with a new truck. We'll see what he's got against the new kid on the block in Vendetta, who's been proven to be a top-tier threat out here on the track. Both trucks are staged. Here's the green light. Who's going to the finals down the straightaway? Invader got a jump, but Vendetta's coming back over the final set of cars. And Invader looks like he made up the ground, coming across the finish line into the shutdown area. What a matchup it was. Old Pro takes on the new kid on the block in Vendetta. We go back down and check out the Crush This replay. It looked like Invader got a whole shot. Here comes Jack Trimboli on the inside in Vendetta, making up the ground. Look at Invader getting crossed up over the final set of cars. He does pull out a win here tonight and makes it into the final round showdown. What a matchup that was. And that will set the tone for the final round showdown. But ladies and gentlemen, I have to remind you that coming up at the end of the month, January 31st, 2026, the 8 trucks that are competing over on the Smashdown roster this season are going to be battling it out against the 8 trucks from Thursday Night Thunder this season in January at Revenge. We can't wait to see you there again. That's going to be January 31st, 2026. Revenge is happening. 16 of the baddest trucks are going to be throwing it down at that event. But before we get there, we got to finish up here. It is now time for the final round showdown. Week 2 of the January season. Overall points chase on the line, as well as the championship flag. Austin Spence inside of the Boss Gator, representing the Crush This race team on the outside lane. Brandon Jagger, longtime MTA veteran in a brand new truck. Invader ready to go on the inside. One of them's getting the maximum points here tonight, and one of them is going to take home the championship flag. Who's it going to be taking home a win? Week 2 of the January season. Boss Gator, Invader. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. Down the straightaway they go. The Gator's got a whole shot. Invader making up the ground. Over he goes in the shutdown area. And Boss Gator will come away with a championship win here in the final round showdown. Week 2 of the January season. What a matchup it was, and what a final round race we just got here tonight. on the MTA YouTube channel. Let's go back and check out the Crush This replay. Coming off the line, that Boss Gator got a hole shot. Invader tried to make up the ground, gets all kinds of cattywampus inside of no man's land. Right there at the line, the Gator pulls it out by a nose, and over she goes for Brandon Jager in the Invader machine inside of the shutdown area. Invader's proven to be a top-tier threat on the circuit. It won't be long before that truck is completely dialed in, but give it up for your new Smashdown champion here tonight, Austin Spence in the Boss Gator. And ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to take a look at the overall point standings after week 2 of the January season. We had some drivers come up and we had some drivers go down. Obviously with a win here tonight, Austin Spence, Boss Gator at the top of the helm with 180 points. Behind him, 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞, Classroom Crusher with 175. Jason Craddock and Brandon Jager, Gas Monkey and Invader with 165. Then Diecast and Raminator holding the middle down with 160. And then we've got a matchup at the bottom between Avenger and Goldberg at 150 points apiece. So the points chase is on. We got a new champion here tonight with Boss Gator. He'll defend the flag next week here on Smashdown. Thank you guys so much for coming out and watching. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure, if you haven't already, crush that subscribe button, and we'll catch you down the road.